signed these pledges, then there is no way that they could not oppose austerity by taking it all out. You know,
so very quickly, the three pledges.
Well, the three pledges are, hear the public, and you have to actively seek and listen to everyone's opinion on parliamentary votes. You have to respect the people by providing 100% transparency on all resources, and you must just cancel all the austerity measures and make a stand to change democracy so that the people's will win.
Yes.
You may not be surprised. I support the current long-term economic plan. I want to ensure that the 2 million people that have got jobs since 2010 remain employed and more employed.
Yeah, part-time, low-paid jobs.
Today than at any
part-time, low-paid.
And it relies on
0 hours.
Please,
Terrible.
could you? I'm afraid I will have to. If you interrupt one more time,
okay,
we will either stop the meeting or you leave. That's the alternative you have. Okay? Is that clear?
Yeah, yeah.
Right. Please, you have start again.
That's okay. Markets work on expectation. We need to give them security that they understand what's going to happen. If we keep the market vibrant, we will keep creating the jobs and we'll keep creating more wealth. We have a faster growing economy than anybody in the Western world. We need to keep doing what we're doing.
Well, we've had some interesting statistics both from UKIP and the Tories now about where we are in terms of our current economic situation. I'll answer Chris directly. Yeah, it's going to be a battle with the Labour Party, but we've got £35 billion worth of additional opportunities because we know the difference between the budgets is that big, and we have to push for those changes. I mean, you know where I stand. I will be pushing for greater public spending. I will be pushing for the restoration of the NHS, because the alternative is we carry on in the same way. And yeah, it's a question of building support. The reality is we're going to have to build that support. We are going to go through some difficult times. But of course, that can only be achieved if you have some sort of, use the Gramscian term hegemony, where you bring people forward together to actually make that case. And that's what I've always done in the Labour Party. Not everyone agrees with me. We're a broad church. But if there is a narrow, if you like, a narrow victory or a hung parliament, that is where things are going to be at their most effective in terms of putting a case and sticking to your guns and really doing what we believe, which is changing. And, you know, I am a socialist. I believe in a socialist approach to the way in which we should be solving these ills. But it will only be done if we have confidence and support from the wider public, and that's where we have to go out and do that, because otherwise we just get slaughtered, as you know, by the media, who all the time are trying to make the point there is no alternative. There are, of course, an alternative, and that is what we've got to get into play, and that's what we
our option is to mix some increases in taxes with some cuts and some extra borrowing. It's the sort of thing you might expect with Liberal Democrats, but I think actually that will work. And I accept it's not everybody's taste, but that's our policy and that's what we're going on.
Thank you.
Yes, I am in accordance with the policies of my party on this.
Okay, thank you very much. Sarah?
How do we oppose austerity if we're not going to do it where
Very briefly.
Okay. Well, yeah, it's really difficult. I'd say we carry on in the way that we are doing by saying there is an alternative. This idea that there is only austerity, there is only cuts, that we have to get rid of the deficit is a fallacy. And I'm amazed to be sitting here on a platform hearing people say it and reiterating the myth that somehow the government budget is just like your own household income. It isn't, and we can live with levels of debt.
Okay, thank you.
We've already found quite a lot of consensus on the platform that economics is what's the real power in society, and the counterbalance to that is the mass of working people. And I think that any campaign that is launched against austerity has to be broadened out, so any councillor, any MP has to engage in mass action and campaigning, as is going on in Ireland at the moment with the water tax, as happened with the poll tax. That was also, illegal, not supported by Labour.
Could you wind up that, please?
Beyond the boundaries, the pale of normal political activity.
Thank you, Sue.
So we've got a deficit running at 90 billion a year, national debt standing at 1.5 trillion. we would be proposing to pull ourselves out of the EU at a saving of £55 million a day and reducing international aid budget. The international aid budget is running at £12 billion a year. We actually borrow money to pay the budget. So we're making people poorer in this country to feed the rich in a poor country elsewhere.